Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.
Welcome to the Dot the I podcast. I'm your host, Big C. In this podcast, we'll wrap up the previous week's game and take a look at stats, players of the week, rankings, and of course, dig into the recruiting class. So sit back and relax and smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are brand new. Our Buckeyes are coming off a dominating performance against then-ranked Sun Devils of Arizona State, not Arkansas State, Arizona State. We won 66-13, putting up 17 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second, and a big 28 points in the third quarter. The big story coming out of the game was Demario McCall, the senior H-back, finished with a career-high 465 all-purpose yards and 4 touchdowns, including an opening kickoff return for a touchdown and then 2 punt returns taken to the house. After the game, Coach Urban Meyer said, after that performance, we will look to get McCall more involved in the offense, kind of like what we did with Curtis a few years back. The running game continued to be dominant as well. Mr. Heisman, Mike Weber, carried the rock 18 times for $141 and 3 trips to Happy Land. The passing game had a tough day, though. DH7 finished 12 of 20 for 139 yards, 1 TD pass to Ben Victor, and 2 interceptions. But we all know about Haskins, man. He'll have a bad game, and he'll bounce right back in a big way. The new-look Silver Bullets look great, only giving up 223 total yards to the Sun Devils offense. The front seven put pressure on the quarterback all day. Bosa and Cooper both had 2 sacks. Westman and Draymond Jones both had a sack. The no-fly zone showed why they are considered the best secondary in the nation, only giving up 137 yards passing and forcing 3 interceptions, one apiece for Davis, Browning, and Arnett Jr. Browning actually had a pick 6 that put the icing on the cake. We look ahead to next week as our Buckeyes travel to South Bend to take on the 0-1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The Irish are coming off a tough loss to Tulane, 24-17. Notre Dame is looking to avenge their blowout loss last year inside of Jerry's World, where the Buckeyes won 49-20, led by Mike Weber's record-breaking day of 329 yards rushing. I went and checked out practice this week, and it looks like we'll see a lot of Weber and McCall on the field together. But look for the passing game to have a bounce-back game after a poor performance last week. Here's a quick look at the top 10 teams in the nation, all undefeated after week 2. Ohio State sitting nice at number 1, followed by Clemson, FSU, Auburn, Texas, Tech, Tennessee, Michigan State, LSU, and Louisville round out the top 10. A big matchup this week to keep an eye on. Florida State is hosting Virginia Tech. That's number 3 versus number 6. And it's time to take a look at the potential prospects heading to Columbus next fall. The class has already had 5 people sign up, led by Aaron Hogan, a 6'1", 314-pound guard from Vallejo, California. He's a gem, y'all. Coming at 79 overall with great passing and great run blocking. He would be a great fit at any spot on this offensive line. Next is Tom Overstreet, the number 1 ranked guard in this class. He was stolen from Alabama. T.O. comes in as a 79 overall as well, with strong run blocking and decent pass blocking. Then we took a trip up to Knoxville and pick up Alex Small, a 6'5", 254-pound tight end who is a blocking machine. He comes in at 80 overall with decent speed, great route running, and as an excellent blocker. It's going to be interesting to see how Coach Meyer uses him in the offense next year. Don McDonald is our next signee. He's a big boy, 6'3", 254 from Fort Defiance, Arizona. The number 39 ranked athlete isn't the normal athlete, though. His acceleration, tackle, strength, and coverage ability could have Donnie Mack playing all over the field next year. Then a trip to PA, one of our pipelines, and middle linebacker Jermaine Smith. Smith is excited to join what's fastly becoming linebacker U. The 6'1", 221-pound backer is another gem with strong tackling, nice play rec, but we have to work on his agility. Expect Smith to get that red shirt his freshman year. And here's a look at a few other players on the board. On top, Larry Newman, DN from Mansfield, Ohio. He's 6'5", 276. He's more of a power rusher who can get off the block and get after the quarterback. We need depth at running back, losing Mike Weber and Demario McCall this year, and Mark Walker is the perfect fit. 6'1", 240-pound power back from Louisiana. The 5-star prospect reminds me a lot of Mike Weber when he first came into Ohio State. A true power back who will run you over for that extra yard. Our strongest position over the past few years has been wideout. The group known as Zone 6 is deep again this year, but Kellen Martin would be a great addition. The 6'2", 5-star wideout is a possession receiver with decent speed and a great wideout. Team him up with the young group already here, and Zone 6 will be spending a lot of time in the end zone. There's no doubt about it, we need a kicker. Chrisman is handling all the duties right now, but O.J. Harrison could step right in and take over. The 3-star kicker from South Park, PA, has a very strong leg and decent accuracy. It's a tight race right now between the Buckeyes and Temple for Harrison. Offensive line depth is another concern, especially at the tackle position, but Greg Knight from Georgia would change that. The 6'6", 4-star prospect is a very solid left tackle and would be a great replacement for Michael Jordan. But Johnny Smith might be the best lineman in this class. He's 6'6", 290 pounds from Alabama, and he's good. Strong blocking traits, and I don't see why he couldn't start day one. Last but not least, an interesting athlete from Napoleon, Ohio. This is Chris Gordon. He's a 30th ranked athlete and has some interesting traits, decent speed, elusiveness, but can throw. Could he be the next QB in line here at Ohio State? Here's a quick look at the current roster. We put the red shirt on running back J.K. Dobbins so we can get 2 years out of him. Also, we have 3 wideouts that got the red shirt, but the future is bright at the wide receiver position with Grimes and Harris and Gill. We're losing a lot on the defensive line this year, graduating 6 linemen, so recruiting is going to be crucial. Linebacker U is looking deep again this year, and the future is bright, and the secondary is going to be scary good for a few years to come. And before we get out of here, I adjusted the sliders, making the game a little bit tougher, and I shortened the quarter length as well. Hopefully this gives us some closer games. Well, that's going to wrap up this week's Dot the I podcast. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Big C Got Game to keep up to date with the Buckeyes, and we'll talk next week from South Bend. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, drop them down below in the comment section, and you guys will be included inside of the Dot the I podcast. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air.